Hello Coffeeholics, welcome back. Today is a requested video tutorial. We are going to make Spanish latte once again, this time using 16 ounces cups. In a previous video tutorial, I showed you how to make Spanish latte using 22 ounces cups for espresso, cold brew, and also instant coffee. Today it is going to be different recipes. We are going to make 16 ounces cups for cold brew, my cold brew coffee here, and also instant coffee, but because I have already shown you how to make Spanish latte using 16 ounces for espresso using the espresso machine, today it is going to be the coffee from my Moka pots. Let's take a look at the ingredients. For the ingredients we need coffee, because this is a latte. We need milk. You can use any milk of your choice. I'm using fresh milk here. You can use pasteurized, UHT, you can use soy milk, almond milk, depending on your own preferences. And because this is a Spanish latte, what makes it different from a regular latte is the use of condensed milk. So condensed milk, fresh milk, and our coffee, that's about it. Now again, what makes Spanish latte different is that it is a foamy texture. So we are going to foam our milk to make this Spanish latte. We're going to top it up with milk foam. So for the milk foam, I'm going to use a steaming jug and I'm going to use my electric milk frother. Froth the milk. Make sure your milk is very cold, and this might take a little bit longer. Make sure that your milk doubles in size and is nearly full. You can see the texture of the milk is very silky and very foamy. Okay, that is the perfect milk foam. What you need to do with this is to pop this in the refrigerator or your ice box, and then we can bring it out later. Now that we have prepared our milk foam, I have put it in the refrigerator. We are going to use it. It's going to be very silky, very smooth. I'm going to start with the instant coffee Spanish latte. For this, I am going to use 2 teaspoons of my instant coffee. If you think it's too strong, you can adjust this. You can make it 1 teaspoon, but this is 16 ounces. My recipe is for 2 teaspoons of instant coffee. And to this, we are going to use hot water to dissolve. Okay, 2 ounces of hot water to dissolve. I am going to refrain from using an electric milk frother to froth this because I don't want it to be foamy. I would like the milk foam to be the foamy bit on my drink. Okay, so to this I am also going to add 1 ounce of my condensed milk, 3 ounces of fresh milk, 2 and 1 more ounce, so 3 ounces of fresh milk. So this is our instant coffee Spanish latte. Make sure they're well combined, that nothing is left underneath. Okay, so if you're using condensed milk, it might settle at the bottom, so make sure you mix it well. Okay, there you go. I am going to set this aside for now, and I'm going to assemble all the drinks later at the same time. Okay, so now that is our instant coffee Spanish latte. On to our next drink. Our next drink will be cold brew. For this cold brew, what I did is to use 1:10, 1 part coffee to 10 part water. I used 100 grams of extra coarse grind coffee to 1 liter of water, steep it overnight, strained it the next day, and I have my cold brew. I used a lot of this and I only have enough for today's video clip. So I'm using 4 ounces or 1/2 cup of cold brew. For cold brew, you need more coffee because cold brew can be diluted or is diluted with water. So depending on the strength of your coffee, you can use 4 ounces or you can add more, 5 ounces of your coffee concentrate or cold brew concentrate. And to this, I am also going to add 1 ounce of my condensed milk. I'm going to use the same or similar recipe across the board, across the 3 different types of coffee. So 1 ounce of condensed milk. Stir well and make sure they're well combined, the coffee and the condensed milk. And because this is already a lot of water, for the milk we are only going to add 1 ounce of milk. With cold brew and with all your other drinks, you'd like to get the perfect balance between the coffee and the milk. You don't want it to be too milky that you cannot taste the coffee, and you don't want it to be too strong the coffee that you don't get that latte feel. So it must be the perfect balance of coffee and milk. So I am looking at this now and it's looking absolutely gorgeous. I love the color of this one. This is using my cold brew. And finally, I am going to use the coffee from my Moka pots. I'm using here a 1 cup Moka pot, and for this recipe, for 16 ounces, I'm going to use 2 ounces of my coffee. If your coffee is not strong, you can make it 2 to 2.5 ounces. For this one, I'm going to use 2 ounces of my brewed coffee from the Moka pot. There you go, exactly 2 ounces with this 1 cup Moka pot. If you'd like to know how to brew coffee using Moka pots, check out my other video tutorials. Okay, and to this I am also going to add 1 ounce of sweetened condensed milk and the same amount of milk. I'm going to use 3 ounces of fresh milk, or the milk of my choice. So that's 2, and then 1 more ounce. That's 3 ounces of fresh milk. Now the color of this drink is absolutely delightful. It is the darkest among the three. Well, the coffee brewed using the Moka pot is quite strong. Not as strong as an espresso, but equally strong. So there you go. This is now my iced Spanish latte using Moka pot coffee. Now we are going to assemble our drinks. Here are our Spanish latte for 16 ounces cup. They all look absolutely gorgeous. Judging from the colors, there seem to be like 3 different colors here. You've got the darkest here, the less dark, and this is the lightest one. So I guess this would be instant coffee. Let me give this a try. It is absolutely deliciously looking, and the very, very creamy foam here. Now Spanish latte should be foamy and creamy. So I'm going to mix it up a little bit and give this a try. Definitely instant coffee. And the taste is just perfect. It's just milk and coffee, which is for most people enough. You don't need a lot of flavors into your coffee unless you want some treat, because I do have a lot of flavored coffee on this channel. But this is delicious. And now, this one I think is cold brew, but I'm not too sure. Let me try. Wow, I love that very, very creamy, foamy top, and it's just milk on top, nothing else really. Definitely cold brew, very, very refreshing. The taste of the coffee, there's no bitterness at all. I just love cold brew. This is absolutely refreshing. And now finally, so this must be my coffee from my Moka pot. Also very, very foamy top, creamy texture of the coffee because of the milk and of course the condensed milk. Equally delicious. This is just the perfect combination, perfect recipe for the 16 ounces cup. It is the balance of the coffee and the milk, and the sweetness is just about right. Thank you once again to all those that have already subscribed to this channel. For those that have not yet subscribed, do click that subscribe button. I post videos on all things milk tea and coffee on this channel, so stay tuned and also stay safe. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Ciao for now.